Welcome to the Chapter 10 Test Interactive Study Guide. Like always, please pause the video as we're moving along. Have out a sheet of notebook paper. Make sure you're solving the problems before I do. Push play, watch me solve them, make sure we're on the same page. Come into class with any specific questions. I'm taking some of these questions from your textbook, the Chapter Test. I'm not solving every single problem, so follow along. Here we go. First one is number 1, where they ask you to make a stem and leaf plot. So I look at my data, and I'm looking for the minimum and the maximum. I see I have some numbers in the 60s and through the hundreds. So I'm going to go ahead and make a key first. I pick the random number, 76. And that's telling the readers that the stems are representing the tens place, and all the leaves are representing the ones place values. So I go through my 60s. I look for any number in the 60s. I see only one, so I have a stem of 6, but a leaf of 8. Now I'm going to do the same thing through the 70s. I see 76 and 72, which gives me a leaf of a 2 and 6. Every single stem, all the leaves, they have to be in order from least to greatest. Least to greatest. 80s turn. So I have the 80, 88, 80, 80, and I believe that's all of them. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 80s, 3 zeros, 80, 80, 80, and 88. And now it's the 90s. 96, 94, 92, 90. So I need a 0 leaf, I need a 2, a 4, and a 6. And then finally, I have 100. 100 is a triple digit number, but if my stem is 10, 10 tens is actually a value of 100. So I need to add a 0 there for my leaf. And now I have my stem and leaf plot. This question, that's all it asks you to do, but I do want you to look to the right. You can kind of turn your head a little bit and see that the distribution, you can see it there on a stem and leaf plot. The next one I'm going to solve is this, number 3. This time they give you a stem and leaf plot, and they ask you to find a lot of information. So the mean, I've already gone ahead and added them all up, and you get 588 when you sum them up. And again, remember, you don't just say 5 plus 8 plus 0. That's not how you do it. This is actually a 35, and that's a 38, and that's a 40. So you need to add each individual value up. You get 580. There are 12 leaves. Divide by 12. You get an average, a mean of 49. Median, minimum, maximum, next minimum, next maximum, minimum, maximum, minimum, maximum, minimum, maximum. I'm left with 50 and 54. So halfway between those two numbers, right here, would be a 52. So the median is 52. The mode, the number that occurs the most often in a set of data, I see 3 leaves of a 4 right here, so 54, 54, 54. The mode is 54. Range, minimum and maximum, 60 minus minimum, 35. 60 minus 35, the range is 25. And the IQR. IQR, we need to find Q1 and Q3. So to find Q1, I find the median of the lower half. So minimum, maximum. Minimum, maximum. I need between 40 and 41, which is going to be 40.5. That's our Q1. Q3 is going to be the same thing on the upper half. Minimum, maximum, minimum, maximum. I'm left with 54.5, halfway between 54 and 55. So now I subtract them. Difference, 14. So my IQR is going to be 14. And now I have all my data landmarks figured out here. Also, just as a side note, look at the shape of the distribution of this stem and leaf plot. And you can see if you turn your head, you have skewed left data. And that makes sense because the median is 52. So we knew the average would be on the left side of 52, which it is. It's less than 52, 49. Number 4, it says display the data in a histogram. So they ask you to make a histogram. So they give you the frequency table, television watch per week, so I call it TV viewing. They give you the intervals, and I've copied those onto my x-axis. I labeled it, hours. I came up with a number scale. The frequency goes up to 16, so my number scale has got to go at least through 16. I decided to skip count by 2s. It's appropriate. It makes perfect sense. I labeled it with frequency. The next step are my uniform bars that are touching. It's a histogram. So 0 to 9 goes up to 14. And the little cherry on top, 14. The next category goes up to 16. And the next category, next section goes up to 10. And our last section is 8. And you can see here, not that it's asking you for this question, but the shape of the distribution, you can say it's skewed right. You can see it coming down to the right. So all that means that if the median is around here, let's just pretend it's about 15, your average will be somewhere on the right-hand side, somewhere greater than 15. That's a quick estimate using our eyeballs only in our brains. Number 5, they give us a dot plot and it shows the number of glasses of water that the students in a class drink in one day. It says, A, describe the shape of the distribution. You can see here most of the data is on the right and it tails off here to the left. So we would say that it's skewed left data. The shape of distribution is skewed left. Since it is skewed data, the most appropriate measures to describe the center would be median. And the best measures to describe a variation defined would be IQR. Median goes along with IQR for any time your data is skewed. The mean and MAD, mean absolute deviation, those go along with each other anytime your data is symmetric. This is from the extension lesson that we went over the other day, so make sure you are paying attention to that, you understand that. Check out your notes that you hopefully took for that. This time they ask you to create a box and whisker plot. So, ages and years of dogs at a vet's office. First things, put the numbers in order from least to greatest. Organize your data. 1, 3, 5, 3 5s, 5, 5, 5, 7, 9, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces of data. Make sure you have them all so you don't forget any. And we need to find the 5-number summary. Minimum, maximum, median, which is Q2. Then we need Q1 and Q3. Minimum is 1. Maximum is 11. Median, min-max, min-max, min-max. 5 and 5 halfway right here. 5. There's our Q2, our median. Q2 is 5. Lower half, min-max. 3 and 5, 4. Q1 is a 4. Upper half, find the median. Minimum, maximum, between 7 and 9 is 8. And there is our Q3, 8. So now plotting it on a number line, graphing it, showing, creating a box and whisker plot. You can start anywhere you like. I usually start with my Q1, which is 4. So I have my left side of my box. Then I go to Q3, which is 8. That's the right side of my box. And I'm going to connect my boxes. Create a box. Connect my sides. Median is going to be at 5. So I go to 5 right here. And there's the median of our whole set of data. And it's always going to be inside the box. Doesn't have to be equally inside, but it's somewhere inside the box. Minimum is 1. Connect it to your whisker, to your box. And the maximum is 11. Connect that to your box. And now we have a completed box and whisker plot. Ages of dogs. Don't forget a title. Ages of dogs. There's our box and whisker plot. And I would say it's skewed right slightly skewed right. Looks very symmetrical. The whiskers look symmetric. The median should be a little further to the right. So I would say slightly skewed to the right. And the last problem I'm going to do, the last problem we're going to solve right here is a double box and whisker plot. We're looking at 2 different kind of batteries. We have brand A and brand B. A, what is the range of the upper 75%? Upper 75% is going to start at Q1 and go through your maximum, which is also Q4. So the range for brand A, if it starts here at 3.5 and goes all the way up to 7, we're looking at a range of 3.5 for A. And for B, start here at, we'll call that about 3.3-ish. About 3.3 up to a little under 6. We're looking at a range of the upper 75%. Just estimating here, we'll call it 2.6. A has a wider range, a bigger range. B, which battery has a longer battery life and explain. Well, looking here, you would go with A, brand A. Brand A is more spread out. Most of the data, which is the middle 50%, which is the actual box, is wider, and it goes from 3.5 up to 5. Median being about 4.25. Brand B, the maximum is under 6. Looking at the box, is shifted lower to the left, meaning less lifespan. Just by using your eyeballs, you could instantly see, and glancing at that, you see brand A, you're better off buying brand A compared to brand B, depending on price, of course, if you're looking for an extended battery. Brand A seems to have more of a lifespan. Well, I hope this helped. If it did not, watch it again. Go to Google, find lots of worksheets, practice sites, other video tutorials. Go to Khan Academy, come into class, 100% every time.